Welcome back to Ask the Mayor. Today we're talking to Penticton Mayor Andrew Jakubeit, and we put out a call for questions from our viewers, and we did get quite a few in this time around, so we're going to move into that section of it. Our first question comes via email, and this person asked to remain anonymous. We do get their names in emails, so we do have them on file, but not everybody wants to identify themselves on television. So this question says, the RCMP here are severely understaffed. When will the 12 new officers they require to conduct their operations efficiently be budgeted for and hired?
Well, I'm not sure where the number 12 comes from. For the last 7 or 8 years that I've been on council, it's always stayed at 45 members. And you know, they sometimes struggle to get the full complement of 45. We fund them at 45, and traditionally they probably have 43 members actively, because there's always transition with people coming and going. And you know, they've maintained that. They've never come to us to say we need more. I think last year certainly was a stressor on the police, because there was actually 2 homicides throughout the year that took a lot of resources to investigate that, and kind of took away from the prolific offender management program, which targets the prolific offenders and in essence follows them, and they quickly offend and they catch them, right? And so last year that was front loaded to homicide, and you know, I think the stats show that there were some increases this year in crime. And I know the superintendent actually spoke to council last night and talked about the 2015 report and how they've actually reestablished their prolific offender management program, and actually they're targeting 5 or 6 individuals. They have 2 already now under arrest. So there's some success with that, and I think that little crime spike hopefully will start to level out. And it's not new to Penticton, it's up and down the whole valley, but I'm not sure 12 members came in from this caller. Right.
So, I mean, sort of continuing on that, it's the next question is, considering the explosion in crime in the last 2 years, many citizens are wondering why judges are continually putting active repeat offenders immediately back on the street or with light sentences. So, and that maybe what you were touching on there with the prolific offenders program kind of responds to that.
Yeah, actually, there was something in the media about a month ago in terms of a prolific offender who got released, and then within minutes he got caught reoffending again, and it was his case that was before the judge. I think all parties have to do their part, and in this case I'm actually going to be writing a community impact statement to kind of help illustrate the fear of crime in the community, some of the crime spikes, and the concerns that citizens have. And certainly if there are repeat offenders, it would be our expectation that they're dealt with stiffer and more severely than the first-time offender. And hopefully, you know, the court systems start to use that as a consideration for sentencing, and they make it more, the punishment a little bit harder for those, because coincidentally when they're behind bars, the stats go down and the crime rates go down.
Right. So now we have another email from Jake Evans saying, asking, how will Penticton improve for its residents over the next 5 years?
Yeah, you know, BC Stats just came out last, whatever, month or 2 ago, and actually showed that Penticton had a negative growth compared, and especially compared to the rest of the valley. So it is a concern for us. We really want to see more growth happening, and I think you need to have growth for younger families and for well, growth in general, but you want to be able to target younger families. And we do have a large focus on economic development as the necessary needs to sort of entice people to come here and make sure that there's some sort of a robust economy for them to find work and to be able to raise a family and start a family, those type of things. So those are high priority for us. We want to see our population growth grow, and we also want to see more younger families coming here and being able to provide them amenities and services and a base for them to start their life or live.
And obviously, council isn't in control of businesses opening and closing, but you create a climate for that, and that's what you're saying you're working towards?
Yeah, I think that's why our economic development we have a task force. That's why it's a high priority for us, because we want to create an environment. Actually, we're named the 2nd most entrepreneurial city in Canada, so we're trying to lay the foundation for businesses to come here, for consultants or say like other jobs that aren't contingent on the region or the city. Right. You can actually have your home base here, and as long as you're connected to the internet, you can really conduct business anywhere. And so we really want to try to target those industry types and work on and just foster sort of that economic environment that right. helps.
I mean, there's a limited land base in Penticton as well for sort of industrial kind of development.
Yeah, and I think to start the year, we talked about the year of partnerships, and we made announcements about partnering with the Penticton Indian Band, right. With the casino relocating, using some of that money to help them expand. Because north and south of us we have a lake. Yeah. To the east we have a steep mountainside. It's very expensive to go into that. And then to the west we have beautiful flat lands, which is basically Penticton Indian Band and land. So how do we leverage that? And you know, they built a bridge across the channel there, and they're wanting to develop that area, and they're going to put a portion of that area for light industrial and commercial. Okay. To help facilitate business opportunity and growth. And we're trying to work with them as well to entice businesses that want to come to the Okanagan or South Okanagan, that they have a great opportunity, you know, with the Penticton Band locations.
It sounds like a great partnership there. Question from Brian Johnson, director of the Penticton Scottish Festival, and he asked, as Penticton is becoming known for hosting festivals, why is there not a Penticton City Festival coordinator on staff for volunteer groups like ours, the Penticton Scottish Festival, to help us? We are a group of citizens passionate about our cultural activities, but have difficulty navigating the path through bureaucracy of permits, forms, liquor licensing, security needs, etc.
Yeah, we started addressing that last year. We created a position, and it was a partnership with Tourism Penticton. It was one of our arm's length operators for promoting the city, and recognized not only do we need sort of a salesperson to get more festival events and particular sport tourism happening here, we also need to help our existing festivals grow and to hold their hand when a new interest comes to town, you know, to navigate through the bureaucracy, and also connect them with whatever is volunteers or opportunities for sponsorship, so they can really have more of an impact, or have people come a day earlier or stay a day later, all those sort of things, because we have wonderful festivals and events. And for a lot of people, they just focus on a festival event because that's all they know. They may not be well versed with marketing that right. whole event or festival, and how do we put them in touch with people that can help them go from 500 participants to 1,000 participants, or 1,000 spectators to 2,000 spectators, you know, stay a day early, stay a day later, all those sorts of things. So we did have someone in place, and that person has transitioned out, left, and we're trying to get another person in place. I think the hiring just took place. So yes, this spring there'll be some more helping hands to kind of guide existing and future festivals and events to be successful in Penticton.
Because I mean, we are known for that kind of thing in there.
Yes.
All right, another question from an anonymous source. There are simply too many motorists behaving dangerously around our educational facilities. With the importance of keeping our children safe, is it possible to enlarge and double the amount of school zone and speed limit signs in these areas? Just make them more obvious and maybe make them a larger area?
Yeah, well, you know, regardless of school areas or not, it's funny, traffic concerns seem to be one of the biggest safety issues that residents raise. Most of the school zones in Penticton, we actually implemented traffic calming a couple of years ago, and this last year we actually made some of that traffic calming more permanent. So narrowing of the road, some speed bumps, speed humps, those sorts of things, in an effort to try to raise awareness. You know, we had one school that had a crossing guard where her foot got run over, and then we replaced it with a wooden cutout of a crossing guard. That crossing, the wooden cutout got run over. So I mean, it's a little bit disappointing and frustrating sometimes, the carelessness people have, in particular playgrounds and school areas. So that's why we did do some traffic calming. We do have the police and the citizens on patrol try to do a bit more of those speed awareness, and we've had reader signs there, and we've monitored areas, and so it remains a priority for the police in terms of traffic safety, as they reiterated. That's one of their priorities, and that's going to continue, and we'll keep on pushing for more school zone blitzes, as it were, with police or their citizens on patrol, the auxiliary police program.
Great. And a question from Donna McDougall. She asks why there aren't any dog parks that are clean in the city, dog run parks. Why can't you please ensure that we, the citizens of Penticton, have clean paved parks, not mud pits, to exercise our beloved dogs in? Also, what, if anything, is being done to make sure every dog in Penticton is licensed?
Yeah, dogs, interesting. We have 2 dogs ourselves. And you're right, there are some of the, and that's sort of the catch-22 is you'd have to close a dog park down for a couple of months to sort of let the grass build up. And of course, dogs, you take them to the park to run around and get their yayas out, and so it's very hard on the grass. And I'll circle back to the staff about what else we can do. I know we expanded a few dog parks a few years ago, so we have a good array of dog parks. I think that's not lacking. But you're right, there are some dog parks that are just dirt, and if it rains, they're mud, and that becomes problematic. So we'll look at that. The other part of the question was with dog licenses. Yeah. It's not as easy as it sounds as well. It's sort of, but of course, if your dog goes stray, then it becomes problematic, and the fine is significant if you're caught with a dog without a dog license. We try to have it owners participating, and a lot of the fees for the dog license, they go to those little doggy bags, the poo-poo bags that get put into the park. So it helps to fund those. So it doesn't just go to general revenue coffers. It's actually going to help enhance dog services.
So dog owners owe it to themselves to make sure they get their pets registered, because that goes back into creating better parks for them and that kind of thing.
And better amenities.
Better amenities, yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, well, thank you very much, and thank you everybody for sending in those questions. It's a really important part of what we're trying to do here, is engage the community in these conversations. And right now we're going to take a break and be back with more right after this.